Hi. It's been a while. We have a lot of work to do. A lot of work. So today, plan is not April. February lessons from our daily field entries. So we're a little bit behind. We're now in May. Yeah. So we're gonna do our February field entries, which is our daily learnings. The same style as we did January, so the ones that resonated the most we'll go over quickly, and we'll dye them with a very expired instant coffee, because this is a gamified journal and we would like the pages to look like they were used, not pristine and white or cream, whatever. So we're not gonna go over every one of them. I know they're not all on the channel either, so I'll flip slowly if you want to pause and read them. If you would like a more detailed flip through of every one of them, let me know. We did skip a few days here and there, but let's get started. So in January, the theme of the month was letting go of like trying to control the unknown and just rolling with it, videos on the channel. February is the month where everything became a little clearer, through the field entries, but through life as well. So I'll try to go a little bit in that. The first one that resonated with me was this beauty. This one right here, which was the myth of discovery, nature, and pressure and stillness below the surface. And this resonated because it refined that quiet does not mean emptiness, that I can take a beat without being overwhelmed, and that inner light steadies me when visibility fades. And the tiny trial was to lower your pace for one task today, move as if underwater. So yeah, the idea was the quiet of deep water and to move a little slower, which usually helps me get recentered and do all that. So this paper and the ink and the stickers are a little unpredictable with the coffee, so we're gonna try and do this and see how it goes. I have my emergency sponge to try and save the poor little Tomorrow River, trying its very best to survive my aunties and my craziness. I see it's all rolled up. I'm sorry, poor little paper, but we want to make it look used, so it's working. So that's our first one. Our second one is the one right next to it. This butte here. Beautiful drawing by yours truly. Sure. I'm no artist, but I have fun in these. And this one was geology, and it went into pressure in life, maybe shaping height and not harm. And this is a good balance point for me to remember, because not all pressure is bad. And when you feel stressed, like in February for me, it was good to remember. And yeah, I can endure compression without losing form. And yeah, you can ask, what this tension or this pressure might be building. So that was that inspired me for the month. So we're gonna go and paint that as well. Oh my goodness, the bottom will be a mess. Wait, might be even better. Look at that, beautiful. And we're bringing a little bit of January and February. We're accepting the unknown, like putting coffee on ink and seeing what happens, the little things. Don't stress about it. Why are you stressing? Everything's fine. Next up, we had page 37, which is not my most designed page, and is a pretty classic behavioral science and habit entry. But if you don't know it, it's always linked to a cue, an action, and a reward. That's the loop, the habit loop. And this was a good reminder that also sometimes you follow loops that you didn't consciously choose, and that altering the cue may be easier than forcing an action. And that small adjustment reshaped the cycle or the circle. You know, makes sense to me. And I had little extra quotes like every repeated step becomes a path, whether you're meant to carve it or not. So like often you try and improve your habits and whatnot, but you have to be wary of the ones you have that you don't want to have anymore. And if you change the cue or add friction, it might help you get rid of some things you don't want to keep in your life or as who you want to be. So, oh my goodness, emergency sponge. It's making me feel stressed. This was supposed to be a before bedtime analog fun activity. I feel stressed. Accepting chaos, accepting chaos. But look at the effect, how cool, right? And I don't really let it dry because it's so thin that it won't stick anyways. Other paper would, but this one wouldn't, so that's our third one. And then the one right after was this here, cognitive science, some more open loops and loop things. And this I still use to this day. Like I said, it's May right now. And there's a Garnick effect. It's just like all the weight that unfinished action will have on your mind. And mental clutter, maybe unfinished, I try to say that quickly, unfinishedness, whatever, not overwhelmed. And writing the next step creates containment, you know, and completion is powerful, but clarity is often enough. So try to loop your loops, you know, even if it's just writing down the next steps. I've been doing that a lot and it's really helpful. But also if I've been playing with it the opposite way as well. Like if I really want to be focused on a task or something, I try to leave it like an open loop so it stays front of mind, you know, like, I don't know, like my next food gamified way of eating or whatever. And I keep some loops open on purpose as well. And so yeah, the tiny trial was to choose one open loop and write the smallest next visible action. It really helped breaking everything down into little steps. So it's, oh my goodness, this ink is not the biggest fan of my expired coffee. I like the way it blends it though. Very good. Not much more to that. Next up, I already did the next one next to it. And you see, if you see a theme, we'll discuss that at the end of February, going into March. We adjusted a few things in our current system. So this one was the minimum effective dose, and it sharpens that I do not need maximal efforts to progress, that sustainability outperforms intensity, and that smaller can be strategic. So you could probably see a theme, but I was a bit overwhelmed by a few things. So closing my loops and going small really help making our path clearer for February. So that was well loved as well, and a message I didn't need to hear. There you go. Oh my goodness. Liking. I swear I'm sweating. Relax, dude. Alright, if you haven't taken a deep breath today, we might as well need it. Let's just go for it. Take a minute. Let's go. Alright, I feel better. Next up, right next page. It's a similar message that we had before, so I'll go over it quickly. But it was an anti-fragile anti-fragile structures. And again, a reminder that not all stress is damage, and that managed difficulty can build capacity. Oh, sorry, there you are. Not all stress is damage. Managed difficulty can build capacity, and avoidance may weaken more than exposure. So a good reminder. And my tiny trial was to introduce a small controlled challenge into your routine. I try to do that most days, if I'm honest, a little adventure more than challenge maybe. But yeah, so that was the similar reminder than we had in the prior page. So I love good reminders though. I get a little distracted sometimes, so it's good to hear and see the signals multiple times and to remember. And like I said, no artist, but look, I tried my best. It matches the theme. Well, I didn't try my best. Again, these are like 15-minute tops page spreads, so the goal is not to be pretty per se. Oh, look, we're going right into this as well now. And it to me, it's like kind of related. Maybe it was just a month I was having, but this one was a good reminder that your body is not lazy when it's tired, it's budgeting. So wait, let me show you a little close up. So the body is not lazy when tired, it is budgeting. And you may be protecting yourself and not weak. And yeah, create a moment of safety today, close a tab, whatever. So that's what this one was. And I think it's a good reminder. I don't know if we have that later or no. But budgeting is with your energy levels. When you say yes to something, whether you want it or not, you're saying no to something else that you cannot do. So it's just a good reminder. Take care of yourself. If you were hesitant about that breath earlier, I'll do it now. I hope you have a beverage. This might be a little bit. We're up to February 9th already. It's a short month. We'll get through it. Okay, we're skipping a page finally. This one, non-inspiring. This one, however, not the cutest, but inspired me. Page 43, error signals and course corrections. And that's pertinent to, honestly, my YouTube journey a little bit. Because you try things, it seemed to work, and then it doesn't, and then you try again, you adjust again, you try again. So that spoke to me with the daily fill entries we were doing, and then stopped. That's a little bit of the message. This clarified for me, and it makes it okay to course correct. Not only okay, but that's how things survive. So yeah. And you know, they call it a mistake, but every adjustment you make, you learn something, you know? It's intelligence in motion. So yeah. That was another one. So let's paint it up. Honestly, I love coffee, but this one is like years expired. And it stinks. It's fine. Oh, look. Diluted the ink a little bit. That's cool. I like that. Okay, page 44. Ooh, our beautiful brain. Do you like that? I like my little sketch on this. I think it's a good brain. More importantly, it was a good lesson. It's kind of funny that I got distracted on this one because wondering is not always a distraction. Sure. Silence may be working beneath awareness, and I can allow pauses without guilt. So again, with we had a similar message earlier, but it's okay to break it down, make it smaller, take some time in silence, and to process things. So that's a bit of what this is saying right here. So I really don't want to mess our beautiful brain up. So we will try to paint it. Maybe more conservatively? Nah. Okay. I do swear, I'm sorry. And then I feel if I bleep it out, it might ruin the vibe. How do you feel about that? That's here. I'm having a lot of thoughts for a late night coffee throwing paper session. Are you having a lot of thoughts too? When are you watching this? Let me know. See, it's getting a little wet and a little sticky. But it's only better because then it's all crunchy and we love that. So that's 44. Page 47. We're gonna skip a few, but I'm gonna go slow if you wanna take a look at what they were. Maybe they speak to you. I don't know. Our next one is here. Again, pretty boring design, but it says what it says and it inspired me more than the beautiful little cheetah. So this one was about small daily inputs preventing large repairs. So again, it's a little bit of the course correction and what we saw here earlier. And well, it's taken from physics, different field, but the message resonated the same type of way with me. So maintenance is noble work, and decline without effort is natural, not personal failure, and that small daily inputs prevent large repairs. And yeah. And restore one small area today, desk corner, draft posture, like, and it goes back also to the little things. Like, you can just maintain a little thing, but it will help you long term. So that was an important message to me because I'm very much like a white type of person. I don't have a lot of moderation for most things in my life, as you can tell with my Gamified journals. So it's a good reminder, and I have so many things to tell you about that, but I don't want to spoil your content. But I made a lot of progress with keeping things small, but also extra in the best way possible. So we'll talk about that another time, maybe, if you're interested. So here are more field entries that we're not going to cover right now, but we had in February. Wait, 50? No, not this one, but it's cute. Look at the little stickers. Selective attention. And then that's where we stop. So day 50. We'll ignore that. We'll stick to the content. It doesn't matter. Don't look at it. Here, don't look at it. So this one was talking about avoiding all discomfort may weaken me, and that small challenges can fortify capacity, and that recovery is part of the growth. So it's a bit of the same message, that some stress is fine, some pressure is fine, it won't hurt you. If anything, it will make you grow. Not taller, but like grow. Sorry. Should I be filming this right now? I think not, but it's happening, so I hope you enjoy. There you go. I might even not edit it, so you get the full joy of my full personality. And see if I could find my people. I know you're out there. There. Coffeeified. Perfect. Next up, page 53. So this was one that we're not going to cover. And then day 52 was about economics. Would you think that would resonate with me? Yeah, me neither. But here, what this changes is that I cannot optimize everything at once. Again, black, white, problematic. Choosing fully reduces regret. Choosing fully reduces regret. Yeah, go all out, girl. Trade-offs are structure, not punishments. And that when committing to something today, briefly name what you are not choosing. That's a bit of what I was saying, you know? Every choice closes other doors. So like if you go left, then you won't go right. You know, it makes sense. And time allocated here cannot be used elsewhere. So this made a lot of sense to me. I still remind myself every day what I say yes to, I say no to other things. And I want to remember that when I choose, I try to choose like good life habits and the path of who I want to be. So beautiful. Very inspiring to me. I hope we can start a little chat in the comment if you want to react to anything I've said and if it resonated with you. I know February has been a little bit, but maybe it's good to reflect. Flip your journals, look at your photos on your phone and try and remember where you were and where you are now. If there's anything you learned in February. So there we are. Page 55. So this is one we're not going to cover, but I'm going to show you quickly if you want to pause. And then this beauty, which is also boring as hell, but apparently inspiring. And it touches on limits and constraints as catalysts. And that's really important to me, like in creativity-wise, and limits that shape invention. I strongly agree with that. And like limits can focus rather than confine. That simplicity may enhance originality, and that defined edges invite action. Yeah, I really thrive on that creatively. With sometimes I like to go all out and crazy and abstract, but I think in work, in life, if you look at the limits around you and the creative ways that people thought of, gadgets or ways to arrange systems to navigate all that is really interesting. So yeah, and again, the theme for February was the past became clearer from what we were in January, and for me, part of that is creativity. So this entry really resonated. It's a good reminder, because sometimes you could feel hopeless if there's no limits and whatever, and you can feel confined if there's too many, but you need to, or you can remember, for me at least, that those limits push my creativity and I don't like it. There, so both of these, another brain, not as cute as the one before, but yeah. So both of these resonated. This one was the mind becomes what it practices. And that, again, with the adjustment and the corrections, the course corrections, I'm not fixed in my current pattern. Repetition is architectural. Change is structural, not symbolic. And like repeated activity strengthens neural pathways. Effortful practice alters structures, not just skills. And neglected circuits weaken over time. So again, the idea of choosing a path and not another. The idea of habits forming without you realizing. It goes in the same kind of idea. And let's review this one too, and we'll paint both of them at the same time. So this one, 57, solving by reversing. So that was an interesting way to think about things. It's not asking how do I succeed, but ask how do I fail. And that rewires a bit of your pathways of thinking about problems and things. Also sharpens that prevention is often simpler than optimization. Clarity grows when I define what not to do, and avoiding ruin preserves momentum. So, an interesting way to think about things. So let's paint both of these. Oh my goodness. That was a bad idea. Whatever. But can you see the fluff though? Like it's fluffing up. Ooh. Such good crunch. Such good texture. I love it. And this paper is, it's going to unroll itself at some point. Or not. And then that's a story for this daily learning. Maybe it's destiny wanting them to roll. Whatever. Look how cool. It makes it so, like, so much more complete. I don't know. Is that crazy? I don't think it's crazy. So 57, and then our two last one was 58. Which I'll go over only quickly because it will get its own dedicated video. So don't look too close. No, actually, you won't know what the video is about. But back in February, this entry really created quite an idea storm in my head and a realization that really changed the course of my 2026. Yes, nothing less. So there'll be a full video on that. It'll be our first system deep dive as well. So look forward to that. That's all I'm saying about that. On page 60, well, you can see this one. We're not reviewing it, but here's what this one was. And then, oh, don't look at March. No cheaty. Our last one for February, field entry 59. And this one, it's the same idea of the past being used and the habits being formed. It's, where is the sentence? Oh yeah, well, it's the big one at the bottom. I become what I repeatedly prove. And that, you know, we're casting votes with each actions, and small consistency reshapes self-concept, and becoming precedes achieving. So it's the same kind of idea, and that small consistent acts cast votes toward a type of person. So who you want to be? What do you put in your jar? So that was the same type of idea. So let's paint that. Okay, you can look, you can peek if you made it this far. So let's paint our last one. Oh, not the sticker though. Sticker stays. So hopefully you won't have to wait too long for the March and April ones. They're being produced. You know, I'm getting there. And then our deep dive video for our secret entry that we just brushed over. So these are the lessons we learned for February. So with the flip will be much more satisfying once it's all dry. But these are all our, not these, that's March. Don't look. So these are all our lessons for February. Let me know how your February went. And yeah, for me, it was a month that everything became a little clearer, and it launched us for success in the rest of 2026. So I really hope you enjoy these. Let me know how you feel below. Let me know how your month was. And the month of March is coming soon. We'll see you soon, guys. Take care.